I have to leave the us meeting story up to Kristina. Otherwise, she's gonna say I'm manufacturing something.
Oh, that's how my wife treats me. But I know the facts. No, I'm like, no, go for it, Kristina.
So I was working in New York in a restaurant called Legacy Records. It's under Delicious Hospitality Group. They own, I think, 6 very successful restaurants in New York. And AJ came probably for like a week. He was just hanging out there. Like, I have no idea who he is. Like, he didn't work the station. I was like some random guy. We would say hi to each other, and that's it. And then he just disappeared. And my chef told us that, remember that black guy working? We're like, yeah. He went to Italy. We're like, oh, cool, okay. So I want to say probably 6-8 months later, he's like, oh, do you remember that guy who went to Italy? I was like, yeah. Oh, he's coming back. We're like, okay.
Okay.
So he's coming back, and he actually started working the pasta station, which is like the hardest station in any restaurant.
The pasta station?
Yes.
Wow. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Because it actually requires cooking. You're not just heating up meat or like vegetables. You're actually cooking. You're making a sauce. You're cooking the pasta. You're tossing it. So it's actually like a process.
Ooh.
So I would
You can imagine what kind of attention that got me, right?
Yeah. You were shining.
Yeah. So, he was very shy. I can't even say shy. He was very focused.
Okay.
He's that kind
like
of
that.
person, like, if he's in the kitchen, he's just cooking, that's it. Like you would never see him smiling, laughing, talking to someone, and
Standing on business. That's the new stuff, right?
And I'm completely the opposite. Like,
okay.
I want to be friends with everybody. So I was like, oh, I feel so bad for him. Like, let me be a little bit friendly and be like, hey, do you need some help? I would invite him to sit with everybody at lunch. And I kind of started helping him. Then I kind of moved to the station, risotto station right next to him. So we were like basically working like this. Mm-hmm. And we just, we started walking together to the train station. He would walk me because he lived in New Jersey. I lived in New York.
Got it.
Talk and, the conversations were always really nice. And one time we were talking and it took us so long that he missed his last train to New Jersey.
Ooh.
Like 12:56.
Ooh, you missed the train, buddy. Wonder what we gonna do.
and I already, we already say goodbyes and everything, so I'm already waiting for my train. Which I lived in Brooklyn. I was waiting for our train. And he texted me on Instagram because he didn't even have my number.
Oh,
He's
wow.
like, I missed my train. And I was like, well, okay. And I'm like, what should I say? Like, I know the next train is 5 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
So he doesn't have really anyone in New York. So what he's going to do? And I know the Uber was $180 because I know he took those Ubers multiple times.
Yep.
And I just felt so bad. But the day before that, I literally moved to my new apartment. So my apartment is a mess, completely mess.
Yeah.
Boxes everywhere, it was just terrible. And I was like, hey, you can stay on the couch in my apartment, but you got to put the couch together because it's, there's no other way.
Sure.
And he was like, okay. So
About that, don't work. Just another thing to do.
We're meeting again, going to my apartment, going to Bodega, getting some snacks, getting some beer, and we ended up actually sitting on that couch and talking till 7 a.m.
Say word.
Yeah. And we needed to work next day together. So
So the vibes was just there.
Yeah, definitely. It was just good. You sometimes you talk to someone and you feel like you know the person.
Sure.
That was definitely the connection.
Man. All right, you got to give me a small variation of what your story would tell it, because I already know there's usually two. Come on, did you macaroni Tony it down, man? Come on, man. Where'd the Mac game come from? Was it just the silence? Was it just the connection, or did you have some Jersey Mac in you?
I usually there's the little details that are left out that I'll bring to the light. So when I first started working in that kitchen, Kristina and I worked on opposite sides of the kitchen because she was on the crudo station and I was on the pasta station before she moved to the hotline. But somehow, anytime she needed anything in the kitchen, she found a way to pass
Yeah,
right behind me,
see?
right in front of me.
Boy, they
right
never tell
somewhere.
these, just happen to just prance on by like a little cat in the yard.
And so you pick up on those things, right? And so that gives you a little bit of the green light. Right?
Yeah.
So I knew it was okay to pursue.
Excellent. Boy, see, I gotta give, even though you got some good North Carolina foundation, that's the Jersey awareness. That's right there is the situational awareness that so many young people are lacking today.
You gotta look for those signs.
You gotta look for the signals. So I'm gonna give them some green light credit on that. You left that out right there. No, it's a dynamic story. Man, I almost felt like I was watching a movie when you was telling that story. Like Brown Sugar or something, like Tay Diggs. Yeah, out here.
I just watched Brown Sugar the other day.
There you go. That's a classic right there. Well, good for you guys. All right, so you guys are now obviously become a unit. At what point, like, how does ESO come into fruition? Obviously, the Italy tells a lot in relation to the passion for the artisanal homemade pasta. But how does it get to the point where now here you are, 22, 23 years old, y'all, and when did you guys actually become, this item? Did you get married first? Was it you just together and eventually once the business thing, like what's the timeline on that to the point it was like, it's me and you, and we about to do this?
So everything for us, I always say this, everything went really fast. So
Wow.
we started dating November 6th, 2019. Pandemic hit March 13th, 2020. We opened our first business, which was called Babushka's Pies, in April of 2020. And then we opened ESO in June of 2020. Ended up getting married in November, same date, November 6th of 2022. So it was
Okay,
always
got you.
back to back.
Because I've only known you guys together, so I didn't, I didn't know. Wow, boy, y'all, 2020 was a year, huh?
Huge. I mean, really, every year since 2020 has been a year. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the all right, you got to give me some insight, because you're talking about you clearly, and I don't want to, I'm big on not jacking people's names up, but it's how do you say your last name?
Sankofa.
Sankofa. So, but you're from Ukraine. How has that been an advantage, right? Like, America is this nation of dreams. You clearly have what is the family background in relation to the nationality?
So the name just came from my father and mother decided to name me that, but not necessarily our background. My father's side of the family is down from North Carolina. My mother's side from New York.
Oh, really?
They're very interested in the African heritage and whatnot, so that's where it came from.
That is freaking crazy.